Hey guys, your buddy Horseticuffs here, and today I am going to be playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist for the Sega Genesis and the Mega Drive, depending on where you're from. Now, it's pretty cool. They have, of course, the continues and the player's lives options in the options screen, of course, along with a really cool feature that was the same in Turtles in Time, where you can choose the color mode between arcade color or like the comic book color. And for my money, I always like the comic book color, even though I haven't really read the comics, and I thought mostly they were in black and white. But coffee today is going to be another of my favorite peppermint bark I've got left over from Christmas. Very luxurious coffee flavor. And here we see the opening intro of April O'Neil delivering the news, much like Turtles in Time. What I always thought about this game, considering this is the first time I'm playing, what I always thought about this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably did too, is that this was a port, or kind of a rip-off of Turtles in Time. But having played through the entirety of the game over the past day or so, I'll let you know only one or two levels are ostensibly the same, but they're really only in the same setting. They're not even the same layout. And they're all pretty much just kind of like what you would call typically turtle-y areas. Try saying that 5 times fast. Typically turtle-y, typically turtle-y, typically turtle-y, typically turtle-y, typically turtle-y. That wasn't so hard. But stage 1, we're going through the sewers, and we're kicking foot ass. And right off the bat, what I'm going to say is that this game is much snappier, it seems, than Turtles in Time. It's been a few years. It's probably been 5 years since I played Turtles in Time, and I do need to fix that. But this seems, from my memory at least, to move at a much snappier pace, which is always welcome. Not that Turtles in Time played poorly, mind you, because that is probably one of my favorite games. It's right up there. I love beat 'em ups. It's right up there with Final Fight and A Secret Shame of Mine. But it doesn't have the cultural cache of TMNT or Final Fight or Streets of Rage or anything like that. But I love Knights of the Round by Capcom. That's an amazing fucking game. And I totally want to do that on my channel here coming up. That's a good idea. Put that one in the old memory banks. And you'll see here, if you played Turtles in Time for the arcade or for the Super Nintendo, of course, or if you played even the TMNT arcade game, this is all the old heavy hitters, all the greatest hits enemies. If you fought them there, you'll fight them here, and there's not really anything new. This is really kind of like a remix album, sort of. It's all the same old foot. There's nothing you haven't run across before. There's the pizza monsters, there's mousers, there's the little disc robot thingies. There's a lot of the bosses you're familiar with already. There's pizza, there's the little bomb pizzas that make you into a spinning monstrosity, kicking foot ass left, right, and center. But really, if that's what you're looking for, you can't go wrong. It's like a snappier version. And it doesn't have all the charm of Turtles in Time. You're not getting stuck in time loops. You're not freaking going to prehistoric eras and the Wild West and all that charming as hell stuff. But if you want to play as Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, or Michelangelo kicking ninja ass, this is definitely a way you can do that. And it's probably one you haven't played before. This is my cup of coffee. Yeah, there you go. It's a Christmas cup my girlfriend got me, and it's not Christmas anymore, obviously, but I have not found a cup that was the right size for my coffee needs, so that does it for me. And this is probably the most typically, if you're thinking about TMNT, the arcade game, this is the level that's most typically like that. It's got all the traps It's got cars pulling out. It's got dudes jumping out of sewers with, throwing the sewer cover, the manhole covers at you. I mean, it's all here. This is pretty wrote by the numbers boilerplate stuff. But again, if you're looking to play a beat 'em up in 2017, this is beat 'em up, and it's a damn good one. Now, for my money, when you're playing a Turtles beat 'em up, you can't go wrong with Raphael or Donatello. Somebody with reach, Michelangelo is even a good choice. I don't really understand people choosing Raphael. I don't know why you'd want to cripple yourself like that. I mean, short range is nothing to sneeze at. And of course, you'll see the sewer hole there, and those are always fun to step into. And you see your little turtle guy fall in and get confused, and he comes out and he's like, "Ooh, it's dark in there," or something. Yeah, pizza power. Now, I've got, of course, like any man in his late 30s or any woman who played video games back then, you're going to have a complex history of the Turtles. Turtles 1, famously very hard, very unfair. There were some fun parts to it, but it didn't play anything like a Turtles game, and it didn't make any sense in the Turtles lore, and it was just unfair and hard, and it fucking pissed people off. And to this day, it's pretty much the litmus test for being one bad mofo with video games. Turtles, the arcade game, like I said, I've said in a previous video that game, first time seeing it in an arcade in a town nearby, was like seeing the face of God. And that sounds ridiculous. It sounds like hyperbole, and it is, but it was an amazing experience. And I've had very few what I would call religious experiences in my life. I'm not a religious man, but like when I saw Poltergeist 2 and RoboCop at a drive-in theater as a child, I mean, that was like being touched by the hand of God, And the first time I played TMNT, the arcade game, very similar. It left such an indelible mark on who I am, and that's never gone away, and hopefully it won't until I die. And I have raised my kids loving movies like Poltergeist 2 and RoboCop, and I have raised my kids to appreciate video games, particularly beat 'em ups. I mean, I love this shit. This shit is my life. I never get tired of moving from left to right and beating dudes up. And anyways, yeah. So I fell in love with TMNT, the arcade game, and the Christmas that after that came out for the for the regular Nintendo, I managed to get that. Beg your pardon. My parents got me that for Christmas after it came out for the Nintendo, and even though it didn't look nearly as good, of course. Now, hold that thought. These dudes, these little alien dudes, big alien dudes, you can't fucking fight them, so just avoid them. That's all you can hope to do. Anyways, my parents got me TMNT, the arcade game, for the Nintendo, and I fell in love. It had some exclusive stages. It didn't look nearly as good, but it played almost as good. And you got a pretty, to be able to play that anytime I wanted, and to not have to spend a quarter each time, that was a beautiful thing, dog. Beautiful thing. And then, Turtles in Time came out for the Super Nintendo, and to this day, I've never seen that in an arcade, because arcades are a rare beast. But again, beautiful. Now we've got Leatherhead, the first boss. You are too immature to hang out with me. Now, it's been a long time since I kept up with the Turtles cartoons, since I was like 10 or 11. I have a hard time believing a Cajun alligator wearing Crocodile Dundee outfit is a terribly mature guy, but who knows? So you basically, like with all the bosses, you just want to get your 5 hits in, run away, avoid his attack, and get your more 5 hits in until he's friggin' dead. And there's one feature of every boss and all the Turtles beat 'em ups that I fucking adore, and that is they start flashing orange as they get more and more damaged. And if there's one thing I love, and it's just like a weird kind of fetish, it's to have the color of things change. The color of everyday things just change, like a palette swap, kind of like Mortal Kombat, like Sub-Zero, like Scorpion. Scene 1, New York City clear. Yay. Cowabunga. I don't know why, but I love seeing an enemy change colors. This stage 2, Mysterious Ghost Ship, we start off with a little light surfing. And the nice thing about the surfing in this, and like the hoverboards and Turtles in Time, is that you're not going to fall off. Okay, you are permanently stuck onto that board. And you can go anywhere on the screen, anytime, and you're not gonna fall in the water or anything like that. This is basically a scrolling, regular old side-scrolling beat 'em up stage, except you have like free access anywhere you want. I don't know what those question mark turtle pizza boxes things are for. I did manage to get them all, but I didn't get punished in any way. I don't know if I would have gotten rewarded in any way. People just like getting question mark blocks. And of course, I've never seen a Mauser fly before. I'm sure it's a thing that can happen. I think there was a giant Mauser boss in the NES version. And now we see we go from the surfboard to the pirate ship. Not personally crazy about pirates, but again, in Streets of Rage 2, I don't know what it is about fucking video games, dog, but like, this is the second beat 'em up I've played from the 90s where there's a pirate ship full of ninjas. No fucking pirates though. How can it be a pirate ship without any fucking pirates? And regardless of that fact, why are they always full of fucking ninjas? Any fucking way. I guess having a ninja ship doesn't make any fucking sense. I like how all of the enemies are color coded. It's like a red foot and a yellow foot and a purple foot are always going to do the same thing. The purple ones, they'll usually be holding a different weapon. Now, speaking of the pizza, some of you may remember that in the Nintendo version of Turtles arcade game, you got a free coupon for Pizza Hut, which was pretty cool. Pizza Hut and the Turtles had a lot of cross-promotion back in the day. They had the Turtles coming out of their shell tour, where they went around the country playing music. I'm assuming solving crimes, like fucking... oh god, what was that? There was a fucking Scooby-Doo thing by Hanna-Barbera. It wasn't Scooby-Doo, but it was like Scooby-Doo, where a band of teenagers went around the country playing music and solving crimes, and they had some kind of animal buddy like Scooby, but he wasn't a dog. Anyways, I'm assuming the Turtles, the people in the turtle costumes, were going around the country solving crimes and playing in a band. I have to assume that. Anyways, Pizza Hut in the 90s had the cross-promotion of coming out of their shell, and you could only buy the VHS tape of coming out of their shell at Pizza Hut, which is kind of cool. I want to say Turtles in Time had a stage on a pirate ship, because I remember those planks of wood that you could step on and they hit you in the face and flatten you out. So yeah, this may be one of those stages. I guess there's a few stages, like I said, that harken back to Turtles in Time, but they're definitely not just like copy pastes. If you've played Turtles in Time, you can safely play this without feeling like you are cutting off your nose to spite your face. Especially even if you played it recently, they're not similar enough to just be like, no, I don't need to play Hyperstone Heist. I mean, it's not exactly the Brothers Karamazov or anything, but it's a good beat 'em up. Now, one thing that you'll miss in this over the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time is you can't throw the Foot Clan at the camera, which, small complaint, but it's a damn shame. That was such a cool move, and in the Super Nintendo version I used to do it every chance I got, you know, just pick, like, whack them, stun them, toss them at the camera. How cool is that? Even if they look like a pixelated mess. That was one of the, like, oh my god, blew my mind moments of Super Nintendo playing. And, you know, after having seen what I've seen of the Genesis abilities to, like, scale and rotate sprites and crap like that, I bet they could have done it if they wanted to, you know. In software, sure, but they could have totally done it. I saw more impressive shit than that in Castlevania Bloodlines. Here's these rock dudes you probably remember from previous games. They're just as hard here. Now we're at some kind of subterranean lair. Those guys are always a bitch. I like the color orange. Or, well, you know, I guess they're kind of yellow. I like the Foot Clan in yellow, but those freaking throwing knife guys have always been a pain in the ass. Boom. You know, that's always been something that the Turtles games have done well, are like exploding barrels and crates and stuff like that. I love how the Foot Clan in this are just like in a cartoon. They're not dudes in costumes, they are robots. And everything that explodes in this game, it looks like a cheese pizza explosion. You know, the explosions have always looked like cheese pizza to me. So, confession time. I don't eat cheese. I think cheese is gross. I haven't eaten cheese since I was like 4 years old. So it's been a long ass time. But I love pizza. You know, just like marinara sauce, some veggies on it. You know, some ground meat or something. You know, even pineapple. Hell, you know, barbecue chicken pizza. That's good shit too. I just don't like cheese. So usually when we go out for pizza, I've got to give them a fair bit of warning. Now these dudes, these white Foot Clan dudes, these guys are kind of a pain in the ass. They block, and that's not something I ever remember any other Foot Clan in any of the other games doing, is blocking. And so they're kind of rough. I mean, you can do your super attack if you don't mind losing a little health, you know, because that does take a few bars off. Or you can run and you can tackle them, and then that'll stun them, and you can do your business to them. And that's probably what I suggest doing. You know, if they're in a group, you can always toss one around like that, and that'll take care of them too. Here's one of those pizza bomby things, and almost every time you run into these rock dudes in this game, they have one of those pizza bomby things, which is good because these dudes are hard. I don't remember what they're called from the cartoon. I don't even remember if they're in. I'm pretty sure they're in a cartoon, but you never know for sure. This game's pretty liberal with the lives and continues. I mean, like, you know, usually when I die and when I'm playing with you guys, I will edit that out so that you don't have to sit there and be bored and watch me, you know, get back to where I was. But in this game, you come right back to life, like pretty much instantly, exactly where you died. So I ain't even gonna mess with that this time. That's kind of a nice feature, save me a little time in editing. Yeah, now we have Rocksteady, which is cool. You know, I understand there's only so many ways that you can actually eat turtle, but they get a lot of mileage out of turtle soup jokes in these games. And, you know, if some of you will remember, he was the first boss in TMNT, the arcade game. Or was that Bebop? I always get them confused. I think it was Rocksteady, though. Yeah, Rocksteady. Bebop doesn't make an appearance in this game. Weird. Anyways, yeah, just whack on them 5 times, run away. I don't even know if it's 5 times, just whack on them, and you'll get a feel for how many times you can whack on them. 4 times in this case, and just run, bolt, you know? You'll get your chance. This game isn't terribly hard, and once you get the boss patterns down, you'll get the hang of it. Now, I will say this game does one, despite being as fair as it is with you, it does one dirty fucking trick that I'm going to discuss in episode 2. I cut the game in half because it was a pretty tight 55 minutes or so, and I don't like making videos that long anymore because I'm trying to work on player retention or viewer retention. See right there, he's going to tell you that he'll see you again. Wink, wink. Mysterious ghost chip, clear, yay. But yeah, there's going to be a second video where I finish up the second half of the game. But it does something in that second half that is really fucking dirty. But what are you going to do? And now we're on kind of like a beautiful sunset cliffside. You know, just kind of destroying these little robot guys. I forget what they're called. But they're not Mousers. They're little lasso wheelie robot thingies. I will say this looks pretty much exactly like Turtles in Time. You know, of course, that's one of the selling points of it. But it's got that gorgeous, gorgeous Turtles pixel art, you know? That we've all come to know and love. I thought Leatherface in particular looked really awesome. The way his eyes get all huge when you hit on him, he reminded me of some of the dinosaurs from Bonk's Revenge, which is another game I want to do on my channel. I haven't really played it. I went through the first level, and I thought it was cool, and so I'm going to definitely throw that up at some point, but not as yet. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. I think I'll probably do Knights of the Round. Now, these are a unique Foot Clan that have not shown up before in this game or any other game. They are fire breathers, and you can hurt them, or the wise thing to do is just stay the hell away from them, because one hit is going to burn you and make you stand there so you can get wailed on. And even if you don't attack them, they'll just breathe once and then disappear outside the screen, never to be heard of again. And you see these dudes coming up out of the path. Yeah, see, they'll never come back. You see these dudes coming out of the paths, jumping up from under the stones and throwing stones at you. Seems highly suspiciously like a manhole cover. You know, I'm not stupid. Of course, save your pizza till you're in need of it. Now would be a great time. Okay. And of course, we're in some kind of Japanese village now, it seems. Well, this is all supposed to be on the island of Manhattan. It's been taken into outer space, or something like that. Dimension X, maybe? I don't know. So I guess this would have to be Chinatown or something? Shredder's Temple? I think it's Shredder's Temple. Almost definitely Shredder's Temple. Nothing else makes sense. And, you know, especially you'll be able to tell when we beat this level and a title card comes up. And when you see the boss, you'll know he's a recognizable foe. I hate these friggin' ninja star dudes. They look just like the normal non-ninja star dudes, so you gotta be careful. Shell-shocked. Spikes. There's not too many instances of those in this game, but the environmental puzzles in these games are always a pain in the ass. Well, there's not much of a puzzle here. The traps in this series have always been a pain in the ass. I've always felt like the hit detection was kind of iffy on them, you know? You can be standing in places where, according to spatial awareness, you should not be getting hit, but you'll get hit. Perfect time for a bomby pizza thingy. What a lovely night for a pizza. The run button is kind of inconveniently placed in this game. It's the C button. Of course, we're playing on a Genesis. And so you gotta kind of do like a little finger shift, you know, hand claw kind of maneuver. You know, usually in these games, if memory serves, they have it where you can like double tap, or if you press right or left long enough, you will auto run, but I don't think that's an option in this one. And this is the kind of trap they would usually reserve for the Terrordrome, or the Technodrome, Technodrome. But they decided to throw it in here, I guess because it is Shredder's secret hideout, Shredder's temple or something. I'm sure we've all, if you're of a certain age, spent enough of our lives looking at electrified turtles. Oh, thank God Konami was generous with the pizza. Pretty much every time in this game when you really need a pizza, you're going to find a pizza. You get a lot of mileage out of tackling in this game. I think I tackled in this game more than I have in any of the other Turtle games. Of course, this game has the blocking guys right there, which the other games did not. And here we have the boss, Tatsu, Shredder's second in command. And he's got a bunch of foot with him, and you just kind of got to contend with them. And he's going to fire daggers at you, or I'm sure there's probably some technical name for what those are, but just you can hit him back at him, which is cool. And you just got to kind of get on a different plane as him and just kind of sneak up on him. Or you can, if you're good enough, you can hit all the daggers and just get close to him and wail on him. And I mean, that's pretty much the strategy for every freaking Turtles boss, which you gotta love. Now, I'm not saying this battle isn't hard, but like I said, just avoid the daggers, knock them back at him, whatever you gotta do, dog. It won't take long at all to kick his butt. This dude has some kind of weird, sick fetish for Shredder. Look at him. Got a statue and everything. Pervert. That's your boss, dog. Come on. Don't shit where you eat. And he's almost down for the count. And when he is, that will be a conclusion to part 1 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. I appreciate everybody for watching. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that good bullshit. And please stay tuned for episode 2 of this series. And thank you for watching Coffee and Contemplation with Horseticuffs. Hyperstone Heist Edition. And have a great day, guys. Got about 7 seconds here left. Scene 3, Shredder's Hideout, like I said.